I'll start at verse 1. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
That's right. So, because the things that are seen are not made by things that are appear. Because the scriptures talk about, especially our people, Israel seeketh the sign. But the Most High, he's looking for faith. I forgot that scripture we were talking about. Great. I forgot where. Shall I find faith?
Oh, that's Luke chapter 12.
Yeah. But basically, the Most High is looking for faith. Basically, just going off of the instruction and what he did give you, and just rolling in the spirit from there on, man. Basically, the Most High is looking for someone who's going to depend on him or rely on him. Out of fear and reverence to that power. You don't have to show us the kingdom right now, but through the spirit, through our faith, we know that the kingdom is already established. And in just a set time, everything has to play out in the order that the Most High has already set in his own will. That's true faith. Go ahead.
Khan. Okay, I'm gonna read verse 6. I'm gonna jump to verse 6. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
That's right.
For he that...
Nah, but that's the main point I wanted to get. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. So it don't matter how much work you do, how many videos you put up, how eloquent of a speaker you are, how gifted you are in breaking down geopolitics or whatever the case may be, man. It says without faith, it is impossible to please him. So everything that the Most High gives you the spirit to do, you better hope that your foundation is built truly upon faith. Go ahead.
Khan. Can I jump to a precept real quick? Or did you have more in this?
Matter of fact, get Romans, the first chapter, go ahead with your precept.
Okay. This is Luke chapter 12. I'll start at verse 35. Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately.
That's right, and that's what the scriptures equates the nation of Israel, or chief the elect. We're the bride, so we're trying to prepare ourselves for the bridegroom, Yahawashi, man. That takes faith, because you see everything happening. We're in this flesh, man. We're susceptible to sin and going off, and we're in Babylon of all places. So that fight is even greater. It's even it takes a lot more integrity and just character to stand boldly in faith. Go ahead.
Verse 37. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them.
That's right. The watchers are talking about the prophets. That's another word for prophet. Right? Blessed is the man who the Lord, when he cometh, finds so watching. You know what I'm saying? And while we watching and waiting, what are we doing? We're doing the works. We're professing the name of Yahawashi, breaking down the mystery of the gospel to the elect. You know? That's all within that process of waiting faithfully. So hopefully at the end of the day, escape that day of doom. Was it more than your precept?
That one that you asked for earlier, I got that. The one about Fonso. This is Luke chapter 18, verse 8. Actually, I start at verse 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?
That's right. So the Lord, it tells you in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, that the Lord is a long-suffering power to the elect's sake. So he's long-suffering for the elect. That's the only reason why the Lord is basically pushing back or tarrying, so it seems, with the judgment. It's for the elect's sake, so that the word can be sealed up in the minds of the elect. Read that again, Yahawashi.
God. Luke chapter 11, Luke chapter 18, verse 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
That's right. So, yeah, that's a question at the end of all that he said. Like, so the Most High said he gonna stand on his promise. The Lord is a man that he shall not lie. The word of the Lord doesn't return void.
That's right.
So if he already made promises to our forefathers that we here gonna inherit today, man, we just gotta do our part, man. And it takes faith. He said, what's that last part? That's the really the part that I want to hit.
Let me grab it. 18 here. Luke chapter 18, verse 8. Here you go. I will tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
Right, and that's the balance of the Most High. We just went into how he's a long-suffering power, but it says he will avenge them, what, speedily? That's why the righteous gonna scarcely be saved, because it's just gonna be like, damn, like we gonna be right in the heat, basically, like in the fire, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Right.
We're gonna be in the fire, and just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who was that for? There was Yahawashi that came and delivered them, man. There was a speedy deliverance out of that judgment, man. They were able to escape through faith. That's the point.
That was it.
Get Romans 1 and 20, and just whatever precepts. I'm kind of backing up faith right now.
I gotta count.
Romans 1 and 20.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead.
Can you read it again just a little slower? I just want to kind of break it down.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made.
So the things that are made, like when you see like a mountain, brothers who had a chance to travel and go different places and see different things, I mean, it's just so much splendor and beauty in the earth. That's why, like men of the Lord, it hurts us and we complain so much at the state of the earth, because we know that the earth, if it's in its righteous state, it could be only Yahawah knows the potential, you know. But basically the things that the Most High has created that boost your faith, basically, that there's an energy that you don't see that's created behind the scenes. You know, it's like, damn, it had to be something that created this. You see stars, the moon, a sunset. Like if you ever been to the ocean, certain exotic animals, shit, beautiful women. We're in the flesh, so all the things that the Most High puts before us, that should increase your faith. Like, man, there is a power in the heavens, man, that exists, a living power. Go ahead.
Even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
That's right, so that they are without excuse. And especially now in the time that we're in, the word of the Lord has been pumped at such a high level. These people are going to be completely without excuse. There ain't, like Yahawashi said, there ain't going to be no cloak for your sins. Because the word has already been published throughout the four corners of the earth. And just also the Most High, he's just revealing himself, basically. Just by his signs, by his wonders, and then just by just basic things in nature that you see from the day to day, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Just for brothers who have children or childbirth. Like that, like you in touch with the power of the Lord. You're like, man, it's something outside of what I know that I don't see is responsible for all of this. A supreme architect. That's it on that. You got a precept?
Yeah. Psalms 27 and 14. Wait on Yahawah. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on Yahawah. Psalms 27 and 14. Wait on Yahawah. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on Yahawah.
That's right. So that's what the main requirement for the men of the Lord in this time that we're in, man. We're going to have to wait on the Lord. And like patience, that's a key ingredient in having faith. You got to wait on something. That shows that you're having faith. That you would have the wherewithal to just sit back on it. You know?
That was it on that one.
But in the meantime, because Jacob gets simple, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean we just going to be waiting and just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Sitting Indian style at the house, meditating with incense burning in the background. You know what I'm saying? Playing Donny Hathaway instrumentals or whatever you do in your free time.
Standing up, doing a handstand, floating on your head, reading and shit upside down.
Yeah, no, man. Like the main thing that we gonna be doing while we're waiting is preaching, man.
That's right.
Like the brother read, I think in Luke, blessed is the man when the Lord cometh to find a man watching, basically being a prophet, a seer. And a prophet, he's gonna speak the word of the Lord, he's gonna prophesy. The scriptures say, covet the prophesy. Paul said, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. So that's the part of waiting. You know what I'm saying? That trial of preaching mixed with just having that faith, but the whole component of having faith, we just gotta wait. Because the Most High ain't showed it to us yet. We still going through this hell, right? Go ahead.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations.
Right. Let's start back up.
Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah.
Therefore wait ye upon me. Wait upon me. So, especially in the times we're in right now, you got a lot of our people, they want to so-called get militant with Esau, try to establish or build a bank of guns and weaponry, try to invest in the black dollar, basically trying to form all these carnal means to defeat our enemy, which all of that's going to come to naught, man. The only hope that we have is Yahawashi.
That's right.
Henceforth, that's what his name means. He is the deliverer.
That's right.
So we gotta wait on the delivery. We gotta wait on the delivery. It ain't nothing we gonna be able to do, man, in of ourselves that's gonna remove us out of this situation that we in.
If I can say this too, brother, you know, Jake done already tried that, man.
Yep.
You know, just look at the northern kingdom, the northern tribes. You know, Gad, Reuben, you know, they tried to rebel against Esau, man. You know, and it all came to naught. You know, all of these tribes, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have tried something and has utterly failed and has come to ruin, you know, to try to come up, you know, against the so-called white man. There's no hope. The only reason that the reason that we are put here is because the Most High wants us to be here. All right, that's the reason that the so-called white man has his foot on your neck, and you can't remove it until the Most High says so. That's right. And that is ultimately when our big brother Yahawashi comes back, man. Okay?
That's right, brother. Just because you got Israelites out there, they want to have that Judas Iscariot spirit and try to force the hand of the Most High. You know? Because that's what Judas, if you know, read into his character, you know, he was a traitor, of course. He basically betrayed our Savior Yahawashi, but he was a zealot, man. And basically he knew that Yahawashi was the son of the Most High, so he was basically trying to force Yahawashi's hand and make him get carnal in the Roman Empire before it was his time. Basically trying to make Yahawashi be disobedient to the will that was already set up by his father. Yahawashi knew he had to wait. So the servant is not greater than the master. We gotta wait.
Absolutely.
Acts 5:39.
Yeah, that account where it says this council is about the night. Might be 38. Yeah, 38. Okay.
This is Acts chapter 5, verse 30. Can I start up a little higher? I'm gonna start at like 34. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space.
That's right. So, contrary to popular belief, all Pharisees were not wicked. This is an account of Gamaliel, a righteous Pharisee. Actually, the scriptures talk about Paul, the apostle Paul. He said under the feet of Gamaliel, meaning Gamaliel was his teacher. Gamaliel was an expert or a doctor in the law. As such was Paul. And I think Paul, he tells you that in Philippians the 3rd chapter. Go ahead.
God. And said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men.
That's right. So Gamaliel was standing tall for the men of the Lord. He was fair. That showed. Basically, he had it was a council that was brought up against the apostles. They were basically trying to take them in, trying to put harm on them, just like they would do to us if they could have their way. But watch what Gamaliel is going to have the wherewithal to tell them.
Verse 36. For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men about 400 joined themselves.
Man, and Gamaliel even went into the history. He gave him an example of a nigga, man, being carnal. Read that part again.
He gives 2 examples too. For before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, in all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught.
That's right. Just like you got a lot of these flunky, man, crash dummies joining these guys, man, and these other bootleg camps, man, that are basically teaching false doctrines, adding and taking away from the word. Right. You got niggas, that's just an example that Gamaliel went into with Thaddeus. He was the leader and got basically our people put to death because that movement, it was not of the Most High. The Spirit of the Most High was not with that. Go ahead.
Verse 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of taxing and drew away much people after him. He also perished. And all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
That's right. And all, as many as obeyed him, dispersed. Just so like a lot of these like leaders, man, like what, in the 60s, you had Huey Newt. He was like the so-called leader of the Black Panthers, even though Esau really probably is at the head, we know, the CIA. But basically after that, Esau disassembled that. All the niggas that was so gung-ho about that whole movement, they scattered. It's the same thing that's happening today, bro. That shows that we the Israelites, bro. Right. So that's the point I'm going into. Within the nation of Israel, through the course of history, even like modern history, you know, you had movements where our people have had tried to rise up against the devil, man. And it's all come to naught. Why is this? Go ahead.
Verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone.
That's right. So Gamaliel is in the spirit right here. He's saying, man, refrain from these men and leave them alone. Go ahead.
For if this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught.
That's right. So that shows that Gamaliel had experience too. That's why the scriptures say in Romans the 15th chapter, the things which are written before were written for our learning. Right. So our people, we always go to the history. Gamaliel, that's how he knew how to reason with them. That shows that that's Jake, man. He went into the history, man. Just to show like an example of why they needed to be balanced in this situation. Go ahead.
Verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, least happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High.
That's right. So Gamaliel, he understood the power of the Most High. So he's saying, hey, if these are the men of the Lord, it ain't nothing you can do to overthrow the mission that they're trying to accomplish through the Spirit. Lest ye be found to be fighting against the Most High himself. Because at the end of the day, all these people that try to so-called come up against us, come up against Great Millstone, come up against the doctrine, and certain personalities, they're not really coming up against us, man. They're all coming up against the Spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
That's it on that.
That's it on that one.
You got the precept?
Yeah, I'm finding it right now, but you can speak for a second.
Yeah, man. So right now, man, it's all being made manifest too. Who the real men of the Lord are, and just who are the phony balonies. And we hope to just be on the right side of that thing. That's why we continually pray in the street to just keep coming out and doing this thing of ours. You know? Understanding that this knowledge is precious, knowing that the time that we in is about to be very devastating. Understanding that it's going to take faith to get us out of this situation. But understand this also, because I want to build brothers' hope in the Lord, man. If this counsel be of the Most High, who can overthrow it? You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse. Let's see. I'm gonna start at verse 14. Actually, I'm gonna start at 12. And Saul was afraid of David because Yahawah was with them and was departed from Saul. Therefore Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000, and he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and Yahawah was with him.
That's right. So it says David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Most High was with him. The scriptures talk about that David, he was a man after the Most High's own heart. So it was in David's spirit to just do the will of the Heavenly Father. That's why it's spiritual that the church is set up on David. which in the reincarnation would have been Peter. That's the foundation. Peter was the head of the church. He was the head of the camp. He was the rock. That's what his name means, you know, in the Greek. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them. Here's the points that I want to grab. Verse 17. And Saul said to David, behold, my elder daughter Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for the Lord. Only be thou valiant for me, Slakia, and fight Yahawah's battles. For Saul said, let not mine hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him.
Yeah, because Saul really, he was trying to set David up, right? But that's why I tell you in the Psalm, David said, the Lord had taught my hands to war. So David was a fierce warrior, man. That's why he had so much respect and notoriety among the nation, because he was on the front lines. Here it is, he the king of Israel, but he was always in battle.
All right.
So that was going to backfire. That's the point on Saul. Him trying to set David up to get killed by the Philistines, not knowing that David, man, he got the spirit of the Lord on him. He finna will and deal through the Philistines. Go ahead.
All right, now I'm going to jump down to verse 21. And Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Wherefore,
no, that showed, man, Saul was wicked, man. And that's why all these rebellious fallout crack baby niggas, man, that's bucking up against the true doctrine, you know what I'm saying? We call them niggas the house of Saul, basically. So that's the spirit of Saul, man. You see that a dude is righteous, you can't find no fault in him, but you still trying to lay snares to trip him up.
Yep, same thing to Yahawashi.
They did the same thing to Yahawashi, the apostles. And we gonna fall in them same lots, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, if we those men, go ahead.
Wherefore Saul said to David, thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, in the one of the twain. And Saul commanded his servants, saying, commune with David secretly, all right, secretly, and say, behold, the king hath delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now therefore be the king's son-in-law. And Saul's servants spake those words in the ears of David, and David said, seemeth it to you a light thing to be the king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man and lightly esteemed?
Yo,
Goes to show you his
he wasn't stupid either, man.
Yeah.
You can like that showed like David, like he was very calculating, but at the same time he was humble. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, I don't really deserve this. That's why he always like paid homage to Saul. You know what I'm saying? He always worked with Saul, because in David's mind, hey, the Lord is working with him for his will at the end of the day. So David recognized that, so he just let Saul be and focus his mind on serving the Lord.
Yep.
But yeah, like the brother said, that does show the humility of David, but at the same time, David, he wasn't stupid, he was very calculated. But Saul, he had the spirit of the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying, right here, because he's talking about he was communing privately. These are all things that the so-called white man to do to set you up. That's why the scriptures talk, Yahawashi was cursing out those Pharisees. In John 8, he said, you're father, the devil. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 24, and the servants of Saul took him, Slakia told him, saying, on this matter spake David. Now here's the point. And Saul said, thus shall ye say to David, the king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines to be avenged of the king's enemies.
Yeah, so basically, Saul is proposing a task in his mind that he don't think David is going to be able to accomplish. He's like, I don't want a dowry, because you know that was the custom to get a father's daughter, you know, pay him the dowry or whatever. Because a woman is nothing but a commodity as a business deal. And we're going to soon find that out. I don't want to get into that. But basically, Saul thought that David wasn't going to be able to do that. But guess what?
Continuing on, but Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines.
And really, at the end of the day, he was really thinking, because it was like a double tactic. For one, he didn't think he could get the foreskins, and for two, he knew for sure that the Philistines would end up killing David. Go ahead.
Verse 26, and when his servants told David these words, it pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law. So David pretty much like, hey, oh shit, I can get his daughter. Hell yeah, I'm about to get in these Philistines' ass real quick, bro.
And she was probably bad too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, David, he was like in his mind, that's easy work. He had already had the mission executed in his mind, man. So, but that shows the humility again. Like, he ain't even looking at it at the way Saul trying to do all this bullshit. That shows that the spirit was with, the spirit of the Lord was with David, just like we read in Acts the 5th chapter. It says, if this counsel be of the Most High, who can overthrow it?
Right. That's right.
Go ahead.
God. And the days were not expired. Verse 27. Wherefore David arose, and his men, he and his men, and slew of the Philistines 200 men.
So he got way more than the requirement that Saul laid out. So David, he going all out. He's scoring bonus buckets.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And David brought their foreskins, and they gave them in full tale to the king, that he might be the king's son-in-law.
That's right.
And Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, to wife. And that's pretty much the point. But the reason why I wanted to grab that account is because what we read in Acts the 5th chapter earlier is that, look, what Gamaliel said, if the Most High is with this man, there's nothing that you can do that's going to make you be against him. No count, they also said. There's nothing that you can do to be against him, man. And that was a prime example for David. You know, the Most High, it wasn't off of David's, it wasn't off his own personal power that he went in and slew the Philistines. Okay? It was through the spirit of Yahawashi being with him. And he was able to do that. Why? Because the Lord was with him. Matter of fact, can you get Acts the 12th chapter? And then you can just start at the top there. And this is another example going into faith, man. You know, because we was going into faith earlier and how we gotta believe and we gotta trust in Yahawashi. You can just get into precepts.
This is Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church.
Right. So now we're at the time where the church is being persecuted. So Herod was the king, or I'll say the tetrarch